He is shooting a 110-pound yew longbow. I think it was laminated from hickory, maple, and yew, and he did get a distance of 325 meters, which is pretty good. And here we have Frode, who is shooting his 35-pound flight bow. It is laminated from bamboo and ipé. And he actually got a distance of 251 meters with this small wooden bow. And here, finally, some short clips of the test shots. As you can see, I was simply shooting straight across the chronograph. So I got a distance and a reading, 322 on this one. And I also did take a photograph of each arrow, so I knew which arrow I had shot and could put together the data later on. So this one was 326. And if we pause this image, you could see the numbers on the arrow. The 15 stands for 15 millimeters of deflection, meaning that if you spine test the arrow with supports 26 inches apart, and you hang a 2-pound weight in the middle of it, the shaft will then bend down 15 millimeters. And this is just mainly for safety reasons, so you don't shoot an arrow that is too weak, because it might just hit the grip and then explode, and splinters everywhere. And of course the arrow weight, 191, that's grains in total arrow weight. This shot was the one that went the farthest at 544 meters. This reading at 114 is not trustworthy. This shot was one of the faster ones at 344 feet per second. The arrow was quite lightweight at only 179 grains though, but still one of the fastest ones. The distance was 497 meters. And this one going 325 feet per second, but only going 443 meters. This one was the fastest at 346 feet per second, but it only went 504 meters. Up until this point, I have only been shooting split cane bamboo arrows, but these two last ones, they are spruce. And they did surprisingly well. They were quite heavy, and they're about a millimeter thicker than the bamboo arrows. But even so, the best one of these two spruce arrows went 325 feet per second and 524 meters. So that's just 20 meters behind the best split cane arrow. Still, 544 meters as a best shot of the day. That's 73 meters behind what this bow and these arrows managed in Istanbul. So my conclusion of this day at Knaben and also at Istanbul is that the weather conditions in Istanbul was pretty good. And here are the results. I did plot these numbers into a graph, and in this graph the arrows 1 to 12 are oriented such that the arrow weight goes up from left to right, and as you can see there is a correlation between the arrow weight and also the speed. So the lighter the arrow, the faster the arrow, which is something we knew already. But Looking at the meters, it all seems, at least to me, quite random, which basically boils down to that the weather conditions were quite chaotic. And so more testing is needed, and preferably on a day where there's no wind.